Welcome to Motherhood Aligned and Assigned, where we help guide mothers from symptoms to solutions.
We're Dr. Serena Coffman and Dr. Veronica Schiltz, nervous system specialists helping families discover the missing link in their wellness journey.
Join us as we translate complex health challenges into simple, actionable solutions for you and your children.
Because your family deserves to thrive,
not just survive.
Dr. Veronica, I have a question for you.
Yes. What is your question?
Have you experienced kiddos specifically who seem to be taking longer to show progress in your office, or they showed progress really well at first and then have plateaued?
Yes.
Same.
My favorite cases.
Yeah. So I'm thinking here, like, let's observe the rest of the family and keep in mind that co-regulation is a real thing. And I'll answer it after you answer, but for the kiddo, or plural, the kiddos that you're thinking of who have plateaued and you're like, what the heck? Am I even a good chiropractor? Why isn't this kid getting better? What am I missing? What have you noticed about mom specifically, or dad? And are they under care? How is their nervous system seeming? What have you noticed?
Yeah. So this happened twice in my office. The first case was kind of like our miracle story. We actually did end up breaking past the plateau without seeing mom and dad. But I do know mom and dad are very, very strong. Well, that's a lie. Mom and dad did start coming in, not as regularly as they didn't get under care plans or anything, but just by coming into the office, actually, I'm realizing that actually happened around. That's crazy. Sorry, I'm having like a real-time revelation. He was someone who struggled with blood sugar. He was wearing a monitor. They went to specialists all over the country, couldn't figure out what was going on. We got to it was a 60-visit care plan. So when I tell you, like, we were in the nitty-gritty details with it. We were at, like, visit 40-something. And I was like, what the heck? And then the mom was like, what the heck? And I genuinely had to be like, we have tried intensives. We have tried, all sorts of things. I think we just need time on our side. And we broke past that. And now to this day, they actually ended up needing to take a break from care, came back recently after 2 months, and still no blood sugar issues. So we really rewired that neural pathway. Yeah, which was incredible. I was a little worried it was going to come right back, and it didn't. So that shows you the level at which we can rewire nervous systems. But this new case that I'm in,
wait, pause real quick.
Yes.
So you noticed kind of a breakthrough in getting out of that plateau once mom and dad started getting adjusted, just at all.
I didn't realize that at the time, but yeah. They weren't even under care plan. They were just getting their nervous systems checked more often.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And that's like the correlation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this time again, we actually have a family of 4 where the mom and the 2 siblings are getting adjusted, but the dad is not yet. What's so, I don't want to say frustrating, because I absolutely love them so much and I love this case, but what's so disheartening is that she was just on this trajectory upward the entire time, to the point where I was like, I have never seen a case go so smoothly. It was she was hitting her goals. She was, it was just her scans were looking better and better and better, and then all of a sudden, drop. And so I was like, this was right before I was going to dismiss her to wellness, 12 visits before. I was like, we got 12 more visits just to make sure. And then it was just everything just did not go how I thought it was. But dad's not under care yet. And what is very interesting is she's been communicating to us this whole time, because she started saying things like, I've noticed my dad's been a little bit irritated with me lately. And, we just kind of that's going to happen. She's not been sleeping. So we're like, that's going to happen when you're not, necessarily sleeping through the night. But she's been communicating this whole time. I think dad's struggling and I don't know how to communicate that. And so it'll be very interesting to have that. I'm going to see them tonight and have that conversation of how is their relationship going? Because it could be.
Yeah.
You need a whole
is there emotional
hands
stress
on
there?
deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting.
So I have been noticing in my office, I've had one tough kiddo who's been making me question all my skills and my clinical analysis and all of those things. And it wasn't until I had a baby start care after him who had some similar symptoms going on. They're struggling with similar things, and it's just doing so well. And it reminded me, okay, I can analyze scans. I can find the primary thing to adjust this kiddo he's just struggling, and he's getting better finally. And sometimes everything comes together literally at the end of a care plan. Like last 3 visits, and it's like, wow, we made it. Hallelujah. But I'm thinking, so this baby that's been a tough cookie, his mom has struggled with anxiety. And I think that's a little bit of what got him a little wound up in the first place before this big birth stress that he had. And so I'm seriously considering, like, hey, Mom, I think if we get you under care and get your nervous system regulated, we're going to see a big change, because there's going to be a really awesome co-regulation opportunity here. And she's a wonderful mom. She's very, like, when she has to redirect her toddler, who's a wonderful little girl, she just has a bunch of great tools in her tool belt. So she's not like blowing up all over the place. You can kind of tell, like, the moms who are on edge, like, oh gosh, can I please help you? She doesn't strike me as that. But I think because she has struggled with anxiety and continues to do so, I think she could be the turning point for her baby boy to really get past the plateau for that co-regulation. That's what I've been thinking.
Well, yeah, and I think it's so interesting because I have another family who the little boy completely doing great, actually came wellness from a different clinic that's like a powerhouse of a clinic, and with PX, and she was like, I noticed he poops when he sleeps, like in his naps, and I was like, to me that's always a red flag that you are not calming down enough while you're awake to poop, that you have to wait until you're sleeping for your bowels to officially move through, and that's always a red flag to me. And so I was like, interesting, like, is he having any kind of extra stress? And she was like, no, we're doing great, but Mom struggles with anxiety. And she's like, well, I wouldn't say I'm like anxious around him. And so, like, same kind of thing, you can tell she has these like great tools and she's like very patient and calm with him, but there must be something that their little nervous systems are picking up on that is creating a hyper vigilance, hyper awareness that they're not even communicating. And I wouldn't even say, like, I feel like that's, you know, there's a difference between some of the, I feel like actually now that I'm thinking about it, there's like a mom that you would address that with and they're like, yeah, like, that's me. Hello, hi. And then there's another mom that's like, what are you talking about? I'm doing great. And I think those moms have, what I'm thinking is they have coped so well and have so many compensation patterns, they don't even realize the kind of distress that they're in, right? And so, but
they're
baby
still
does.
in fight or flight. They're still
does.
fighting. They're still fighting. Like, no,
and their baby's picking up on it because their nervous system was designed to communicate and mirror that. Yeah. So just an interesting thing I noticed too.
No, I've noticed kids, especially babies, they don't have something that we don't. They're tuned in to this sixth or seventh sense, because I think we've already talked about the sixth sense of
proprioception.
Proprioception. So this is seventh sense. We're just adding a bunch of things. I was just talking to someone about this. Maybe like, well, we're gonna go like on a little rabbit trail. Maybe I'll lose some people. I don't know. But everything has a frequency. Joy has a frequency, like measurable.
Can I
anger
add
has a
before you go
frequency.
down this rabbit hole? We love Jesus. We do
love Jesus. Yep.
And this is actually
and this
science.
is what makes me hesitant to even talk about it sometimes. But it's true.
It's true. Your atoms literally vibrate to a certain, and the emotions have their own vibration. Yeah. I just wanted to put that out there.
Like a very physical way to see this. Not everyone can access this, but for example, tears that are cried from joy have different crystallized structures than tears that are cried from sorrow. Like they look different in a microscope, right? So our bodies are communicating without us feeling. No, that's not true. Without us perceiving necessarily, And I think babies, they have less going on, right? They can't move as much. They can't see as much
life experience.
There's less life. Yeah. So there's just interference. I think they have a lot of time to perceive.
That's all they can do.
That's all they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're more tuned in to us, and they're constantly looking to us for what to do and how to respond and all of those things. So co-regulation, all that to say is I think there's a lot of evidence pointing to our little ones are more tuned into us than we realize. And I notice, like, when I'm stressed and trying to get out the door fast to church, very specifically, something about church, my kids can be a mess if I'm not careful, because they're just like, mom's rushing around, and even if I'm not trying to rush them, people are like, okay, let's tie your shoes. They're like, oh, I think it's time to dysregulate, because mom...
Mom is,
Anyway.
she started it.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I think it's huge. And it's sometimes it's tough for me, like, okay, I know that you are investing a lot of your time and money and energy into coming for your little one. But I would even say, like, hey, if we needed to pause this other care plan for little one and get you on track because you absolutely could not do it any way else financially, I would say there's value in that. Like, I'm not trying to take your money. Like, let's do what we can. And I think your money is better spent and more valuable if we get your nervous system online and then your baby's nervous system, which is going to continue mirroring yours.
Mm-hmm. I like this analogy of like pushing a car with the brakes on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to essentially, now we obviously know, I mean, you've been listening to us for 30 episodes, right? You know how important the nervous system is and how, like, when you clear interference from the nervous system, it gets easier, right? But if, let's say, your child is going to therapy, or, you know, you're or even here, right? And they get back home into just this place full of just chaos where other nervous systems are influencing it. Now I'm trying to adjust your nervous system, dad's nervous system, sister's nervous system, and his own, whoever, you know, the kid's nervous system that I'm working with at the same time, because they're just absorbing all of the nervous systems in the house, right? They're I shouldn't say absorbing, but like they're picking up on and expressing and perceiving the other nervous systems that they don't even know how to focus on just theirs. So I can get their nervous system down, but if your nervous system is influencing it, you're just like pushing on this car up an uphill with the brakes on. Like, you could technically move a car eventually if you keep pushing hard enough, and it's going to work, but it's so much easier when the whole family is in tune and in an ability to come down from the fight-flight response into that rest digest as a unit. Then we all can kind of, you know, get together. And sometimes mom and dad, yours nervous system is what's the most influential in that home. And so if we can get yours to calm down, you'll just naturally see that your kids' is will too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think something I've noticed in my office and that we have seen a pattern in studying HRVs of families is the families' HRVs often are similar patterns.
Yeah,
I've seen it a lot, and not all the time, but often I will see everyone is trending in the same direction. Mm-hmm. HRV for heart rate variability, adaptability to stress. It looks often similar. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes, this is what happened recently, a mom brought her kids in. They're doing great. And now she says, okay, I think it's my turn. I said, yes, I love that. Mm-hmm. And she has been working so hard to get everyone else care, to serve everyone else for years, not just in their chiropractic journey, but for
in so many
18 years, that they're all balanced.
And now her dysregulation feels...
And she's like way in fight or flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost is like a mirror of like, oh, wait, I am the one that's a little bit dysregulated.
Yeah. So now she's like, where she's at, she's like, okay, my kids are doing great, and I don't have to be on edge and all these things for behavior for her little one, elementary school. She's like, he's doing great in social interactions, and I no longer need to be on edge, but I still am.
Yes.
Right. Her nervous system hasn't caught up to her family's nervous systems, which has been interesting. So,
which is also interesting when you also pair it with the holidays, which you just went through, right? Yeah. Now you have grandma's nervous system, which is triggering mom's nervous system, which is triggering, you know. So it's just very interesting how, you know, at the end of the day, we have our opinions about family get-togethers, and some dread, some joy. But just think about the kind of atmosphere and, you know, it's like the vibes in the room. We like to not, you know, it's a weird thing to say, but truly, it's really what we're picking up on is discernment and the nervous system that we're feeling that's been passed down for generations to come.
Yeah. Like how my husband notices that when I step into a room with my grandma and my mom and my sister, I shift. And why do I shift so much? Like there's a lot going on there, but I can tell you,
It's deep. Deeply embedded.
Some people aren't under nervous system care, and it's not me.
Okay, friends. So what can you do about it? What should we do? We've already had the holidays, right? So maybe we can just reflect on how those holidays went, whether it was joyous or whether it could have gone a little bit smoother. And then from there, we can say, do I want to be the one to change the atmosphere? Do I want to be the pillar in the room that is regulated when everyone else feels? And do I want to be that mirror, right? Of kind of going first and saying, actually, your chaos doesn't have to be my chaos anymore. And that starts with chiropractic care. There's nothing, I've said this time and time again, and I've been saying it more often in my office, like boldly, because it's true, in that there is very few, if any, other modality that can work on removing the interference in your body. There's so many modalities that add to it, that can coordinate it, that can compensate it, that can change it. But chiropractic care is one of the only ones that can remove it and add where we need to add and take out where we need to take out. And so truly, one of the things, I actually just onboarded a new patient, we had a new patient visit last night, and she was like, is it even worth, I don't know if I want to go through with care. Is it worth just coming in and getting the scan? Yes. Because even if the only thing you do is get scanned in our office, you're going to have a better knowledge about what's going on inside of your body. You're going to feel validated and seen, and you're going to understand, why you went to doctor's offices and they said you're fine on paper, but your nervous system is showing exhaustion and overactivity in different areas. You're just going to have a better awareness of your body. And then you get to decide what to do with it after that.
Yeah. Information is so valuable. Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you can take action.
Yeah. Then you can decide, what if your scans look great? Then you can decide, okay, so my nervous system is balanced. I have energy to give to the next stressor, and I'm not holding a bunch of tension in my body. Which this rarely happens. People rarely come into our office like, I think I'm doing great.
Right.
And I just want to see. Usually people
maintain it.
I have tried everything. So usually they're just kidding. But if you're trying to decide where to put your time and resources, you have to gather the information. So gather the information and get the report of findings, and then decide, okay, do I need to process some trauma? Do I need to process this physical stress that's stuck in my body, keeping me in fight or flight, so that I can process the trauma, right? Because it's really hard to process trauma if you're stuck in fight or flight, right? That information is not getting to your cortex for you to know what to do with it and how and process it. Right. Or you need PT. I don't know.
Right. So, well, you'll know where to go next if there is another next phase for you.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm this, if we talk through your whole health journey, it's okay, we're going to chat about our emotional stressors, which go way back. We're going to talk about physical stressors, which can go way back to birth. And we're going to talk about our chemical stressors, right? So if it was a physical stressor, there's typically a PT involved if needed to re-coordinate and rebalance the body once the nervous system's online. If this is a big emotional stressor that's in the past that you haven't processed or ongoing, sometimes those therapy can be really great to coincide with care. So yeah. Anyways, that was something big I was processing of, okay, I think co-regulation is a huge factor in this kiddo getting better. And sometimes even if we knew that right from the start, I would have started mom first.
Right.
If they had to choose between one or the other. Right? And then, I just would start. I don't know. It's tough because it's if baby's not sleeping and they're spitting up everywhere, that's gonna push me in fight or flight personally. Right. So if I'm not sleeping and if I'm cleaning up spit up, so
let's just say both need to get adjusted.
Yes. Yeah. Eventually. And there's been times that I'm once I lay my hands on both and see scans, it's Mom, can we prioritize you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
you
sometimes that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, folks. We'll go get scanned. Right. Hope you had a wonderful holiday, and we'll see you next week.
Okay.
You want to pray us out?
Yeah. Dear Lord, thank you for all the tools you've given us to perceive and to know one another on a deeper level, more than we even understand. Thank you for giving our babies and our families and our friends the ability to connect with us on this deeper level of, we can call it heart rate variability, we can call it frequency of atoms and things like that you've designed and organized and created beautifully. And Lord, please give us the tools and the wisdom to know how to bring your creation into balance and into ease as you designed it. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you for joining us on Motherhood Aligned and Assigned.
We hope today's episode helped you connect the dots in your family's health journey.
Remember, this is where nervous system health meets motherhood wisdom.
Until next time, we're Dr. Veronica Schiltz.
And Dr. Serena Coffman, supporting you as you nurture your family's well-being.
Because when you're aligned, everyone thrives.